how you keep carnating with the same people. Some are new, some are not. There are truly some people that leave and that opt out of the story because they don't want to keep reincarnating and doing it again. Now this leads me to the topic of destiny. I look at destiny as like a tree, and that tree has a similar root and it's got branches off and everything, but the bottom line is always going to be the bottom line, that tree trunk. You can go all around the mulberry bush, you have options, you can do choices, but there are certain things that are just destined to be. The time you leave and the time you come here, those are two things that are just destined to be. The next idea here, how could you look in the chart and know who's a part of this story? Of course, you know, by your experience with them, but then, you know, there's people out there that think everybody's their damn soulmate. That really makes it obvious is, of course, we're going to start with the sun-moon conjunctions. People who hit your south node and your north node really intense have a lot of soulmate ties to you because they are the people that ignite the purpose. We're here for a purpose. So maybe you meet somebody and they have their moon on your south. Maybe that person was a motherly figure to you. Let's say that moon was in Taurus. They spoiled you. They nourished you. They made it so that you were comfortable. You felt emotionally secure. This was it could have been a man or a woman, but this person was highly nurturing to you and they took care of it. So that's your south node, but now you come into this world and you have this north node in Scorpio and Saturn is there. You're coming into this world deprived as I don't know what. Your past story said that you had the nurturing and the comforting, and now you're here to learn how to evolve. You may find that the bond becomes something more serious over time with their Saturn being on your north node. They've done this before. Venus on the south node is a classic one. Planets in the 12th house. You exist together through a spiritual world. And some planets in the 4th house. These are some indications I truly believe indicate a person is from your soul family. And you have a very significant soul tie. And again, I'm going to say this one last time. I've never died. Okay, I've never died before. And anyone that talks about life after passing theories, it's all theory. Everything is theory. I'd love to hear your thoughts. People that have passed away but came back. Even those stories, you didn't pass away. You know, you really don't know. You just have an idea of what's going on here. But it goes back to the same question. Do we really have to do this again? So now, you know, you got David Icke. He's the first person that was talking about a lot of this stuff, but there is another woman. There's a woman, she's got like blonde hair like him too. She was from back in the 70s and she was always talking about the Saturn-Moon Matrix. It's been a theory that Saturn and the moon are working hand in hand to control us pretty much. In about 1965 to 1970, NASA, they were doing research. This could also be evidence. You could look these things up. You can look up this guy, Don Wilson, and this guy, George Leonard. And it was really about questioning what's going on with the moon. Because if you go back to ancient times, you know, the moon wasn't there. It really wasn't there. And a lot of people were like, and they were trying to say, hey, it's hollow up in there. There's something inside of the network. So apparently the theory is that Saturn is casting its shadow onto the moon, where the moon is influencing the subconscious, really. Saturn, the Lord of the Rings, and the people of Saturn have basically hijacked the moon, the hollow moon. And these beings are called archons or louche. One of the two. They're soulless beings. They thrive off of the essence of our life experience. Our life experience of sadness, pain, mostly the experiences of the low vibrational experiences of life, the sufferings of life. And it gives them energy when we are suffering in this world. So the goal is to keep souls coming to this network station, the moon station, so that they can continue to convince them to incarnate and do it all over again. And apparently the trick is, hey, don't you love your daughter or your son? Don't you want to come back and be a better parent to them? Or wouldn't you want to have more money next lifetime? You didn't have a lot this lifetime. Maybe next lifetime you can have more, right? And then we'll do a deal. It's this constant lure when you go to the light. Everybody always says go to the light. But it's a lure. Once you go to this light, they review your life, convince you to do it all over again. Like, hey, if you come back, you'll get this time. You don't have to suffer that way. Oh no, it won't be that bad. And then you get convinced to do it all over again with your memory wiped. And you don't remember anything. You don't remember how you've been doing this over and over and over again. It always seems new, but then it doesn't. We have moments of deja vu, moments where we meet soulmates. We take psychedelic trips and we learn things that we weren't really supposed to know. So they show you this life review and you go to the light. I don't know if everybody's seen that movie, The Poltergeist. They kept telling Carol Ann not to go to the light. I don't know about you, but that always stood out to me as a kid, because I'm like, when, they always tell you when you die, light a candle, so they go to the light. Go to the light. They've been saying that. Well, what's the theory of that? Well, why would that even make any sense to you, D? Because we come from a womb, a dark womb. We come from darkness. Before there was light, there was darkness. So darkness is always the base. To me, you spend your first 9 months of existence in a dark womb. Dark isn't always necessarily bad. If you know what I'm saying, it's always the dark. Stay out of the dark, stay away from the dark. But the dark always has to be incorporated, because that is where we truly come from. Darkness. The darkness has birthed the world. It would make sense not to go to the light and to possibly go to the darkness. Saturn and all these planets here, there's still so many mysteries. Because Dolores Cannon says we incarnate and Earth is the place to be and everybody wants to be here. I think certain people want to be here. There's certain people, and maybe there's other people that want to go to other places, okay? Are there other places? I think you can only go where your mind knows. I always talk about my shroom experiences. And one experience I had was where I went home. I go there. And in this space, but we're green. We're green and blue in this world. And it looks like an alien world, and that was home. The love that is there. So I don't necessarily believe we have to keep coming back to Earth and to have this Earth experience, because again, if you look in biblical scripture, this world belongs to Satan, Saturn. That's why that whole theory of the Saturn-Moon Matrix makes sense. Saturn has a lot of influence on this world. Government, you think of corporate structure, you think of religion and laws, structure, time. Time is of this world. But when you step into the other world, it's not of time. Time is nothing. Language is of this world. You get a lot of messages in the other world through telepathy, through vibrations of knowing what's being communicated to you. Sometimes there are lovers where, oh, we can do this again. We'll do this next lifetime. Maybe I'll see you next lifetime. No, maybe you won't see me next life. Maybe I've done this enough. Because I've seen people on TikTok that make this really interesting theory that not having children is a sign of not coming back to this world. I can say I do believe that and I don't, because I think everybody's story is individual. That's a part of me that doesn't necessarily believe that that could be true, but there is a part of me that does believe, hey, you decided not to have certain attachments, certain love entanglements. And if you think about it, if you and a person have been together through lifetimes, and that's why they say you don't really get with your soulmate. Because check it, if they're truly your soulmate and they've been with you for eternity and for lifetimes and lifetimes, why the hell are they gonna want, you come into Earth to have this experience? Why are y'all gonna wanna be together through this too? Look, I'll see you when this is over. Because we're going to be together. We're always together. It's eternity in that space. We meet up, we say hello, but we keep it moving and we have this earthly heavy experience here. And sometimes we forget to go home. I do think we get caught in a loop here and we forget that we're supposed to go home. Again, what are the anchors that keep you here? That's why I believe it is said to not be of this world. You can be in this world, but don't be of it. Because if you become or you be of it, you will keep looping back in and out of it. that's on you. And you know, you have to wonder, okay, well, if you don't want to come back, then what else are you gonna do? What else do you know of? Well, how do you not come back? This one woman was talking about going in within and within and within darkness. Now, when she first said that, I was like, that don't make no sense. How do you go within darkness? I remember a trip I took where it started to hit and I started to see these geometric shapes and I started to see this triangle. This was how I got to home. I started to see a triangle, and it was darkness, but it was within a triangle, within a triangle, within a triangle, within a triangle, within a triangle. That's exactly what it looked like the lady had mentioned. And I was like, oh, okay, this is how to get back home. Don't forget this, don't forget this. I believe that could be the way back home, to visualize darkness, and the triangle is the womb. Go within the womb, within the womb, within the womb. Man, this stuff sounds crazy. I don't know if I'm gonna lose subscribers or not talking about this stuff, but I just think it's quite fascinating. But at the same time, it can be scary. That's the scary part of passing away. And the scary part is you have no idea where you're going or what's gonna happen. But you know you have done it before. Why can't we remember? Taking psychedelics will help wake up your memory. But again, because it speaks to the life of a different world, it might not necessarily apply to this world. Or it won't necessarily apply the way you believe it should because of what you know, which is too much. Sometimes you just know too much about these things because it can't quite manifest the way you want to with this heavy body and the body's experiences and how intense pain can be. I think the goal is to get out of the matrix, and I do believe you can get out of the Saturn-Moon Matrix. It takes a certain level possibly of detachment from this world. So if you found there were certain things that you've wanted but you haven't been able to get, it's okay. Don't get too attached. Well, I don't know about everybody out there, but I would love for you to leave in the comments. Are you coming back? Did you love the creature comforts of this world? Would you want to do it again? Do you have regrets where you say, you know what, nah, I was supposed to be a famous basketball player, and damn it, that's what I'm gonna be next life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe for more psychedelic, esoteric, I guess, artistic vibes if you really like this piece. Also subscribe so you can see its completion. Take care.